Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel, JazzedTutorials! So, my computer is now fully functional. I got it serviced at Apple and they were really awesome. They got me going. They understood my needs and here we are today. No problems. It is all good from here on in. So now I can properly make videos the way I wanted to make them. So I'm giving you a back to basics tutorial. How exciting! So if you're a beginner, this is geared towards you. If you're more of a knowledgeable and more educated Photoshop person, this may not be for you. You might already know what we're doing and how to do it and think it's not really awesome or exciting, and that's fine. But if you want to watch it anyway for the view, that's cool too. So what we're doing is I'm teaching you what you can do with the quick selection tool. There's two different types of quick selection tools. There's the magic wand tool, which basically, if you take that, it will then just select a portion wherever you click. So basically, you're clicking on a portion of an image, and it makes that selection automatically for you. But I like the quick selection tool because that lets you make your own selection. It's quick, it's easy, it's not as hard as the pen tool. The pen tool makes a selection for you similar, but it involves more clicking, more zooming in, out, and all this stuff. So to make things life easier for you, they gave you the quick selection tool, which helps you make a smaller and quicker selection. So you'll notice how when I have it there, it has the plus sign. The plus sign means you're adding selections. Now, up the top here, there's a minus button. That will be you subtract a portion of that selection, and that will then take it out of what you've selected. And then you over here have this here, which is just a new selection. But I'm going to go with the plus selection. I'm going to add a selection. So we're going to take this and we're going to just go all over this image here. And we're going to select just the tree out of this image. Nothing fancy. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this lovely tree. So there's my tree. I'm going to grab the trunk here. Alright, so now that you've made a selection on your image that you're using, again, you don't have to use a tree. I'm just doing to show you guys what you can do with the quick selection tool and how it works well. We're going to do a Command or Control X. We're going to cut that out, and we're going to get rid of that lovely document because we don't need that anymore. I just want the tree. Alright, now you'll notice how I have a document already opened. Now I'm using this again just for the purpose of this tutorial. You do not have to copy what I'm doing, but just to show you what we're doing and how to use and how it really works well. I'm going to now paste this lovely tree into this random photo of I don't know what. Alright, I'm going to resize it so it doesn't look too ridiculous, and I'm going to move it over here to the left side. But again, if you're doing this with a different photo, a person, or something else, again, do it to your needs. And then we're going to go, and I have to take the eraser tool in a second, but that's me, not you guys. You may not need to use it, but if you do, I'll explain how. We're going to now grab our selection of just the tree, and for those that don't know how to do that, all you do is on the thumbnail, hold your Control or Command if you're using a Mac, and click on the thumbnail. That will then make the selection of just that one layer, and nothing else but that layer. And that layer, for me, is being the tree. Alright, now I need to go erase a little bit of my tree trunk because it's kind of like got some greenish right there, as you'll notice there. So, erased. Sweet. Alright. Now, when you use the quick selection tool, it's going to leave some reminiscence of your previous document. So for me, the edges need to be more refined to really come together in this particular image here. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to use the Selection Refine Edge tool. So hit Refine Edge over there, and you're going to adjust the edge to suit your photo. Now the smoothing and the radius I'm not going to touch because that's not really necessary for this type of a photo. But again, if you want to play with those two options, you can, but it's not really necessary. It's just there in case you need it for a specific photo. So the feather, contrast, and shift edge are all I'm going to be using today. And the feather basically gives it so you can have a nice little edgy, feathery, smoky, blurred edge effect. Alright. I'm going to go with the 0.5 feather, but you can adjust that to however you like it. And over here, it's going to give you a preview so you'll know what's going on. It's not going to leave you hanging. And then we're going to go down here to contrast, and I'm going to contrast that to maybe around 3. And I'm going to shift the edge backwards because I want it to really go away, the edge of it to really smooth inward. So we're going to go with a negative 22, 20-ish. We'll go with a negative 20. Alright, I like that. That's pretty nifty. Hit enter or OK, and your selection will then appear again, and that's the selection of your refined edge. The way to get your refined edge to show is to hit the layer mask tool, which, if you don't know, is this little thing right here. It's a square box with a little cutout in the middle. Click that, and now your refined edge is now refined. Sweetness. Now, that looks nifty and all, and that's how you would use the quick selection tool and the refine edge tool. But to just enhance this whole entire tutorial and this photo, I'm going to show you what I want to do to enhance this. But again, this is just for the purpose of the tutorial. That's basically what I want to show you, was using the selection tool and the refine edge tool. That's what you do with it. But because this image here, as you'll notice, the background is very dark and dormant, and my tree, as you'll notice, has a little bit of sunlight showing because of the previous image we used, I want to add that to this photo. So I'm going to now apply the layer mask because we want to obviously apply what we just did as the selection. And I'm going to now duplicate that layer, and I'm going to go into Control T. Oops. And I'm going to flip it vertically. And we've done this in a previous tutorial. I've showed you how to make a shadow effect. It's kind of what we're doing. So we're going to move this down below, so it's below the tree. And you will need to resize this because we're going to be doing a shadow effect, and it has to be perspectivated outwards. So then once you have it there, hit perspective when you right click it. And you want to hold down your shift key while you do this and drag it out from the corners. And it's going to look like it's on the floor, sort of, kind of. Go with that. Looks awesome. And now, in order to get this to be a shadow effect, you can do it one of two ways. You could go ahead and select the entire layer and make it a black fill if you want. Or if you want to try, you can do this too. You can also do the opacity. But if you do the opacity in this setting, as you're going to notice, it looks like it's on the water. So in some photos, that may not be the best option to go for. So for this photo, I want to more or less go with the black fill. But I'm just letting you know you can do it one of two ways, depending on how and what kind of a photo you're using as a background. So I'm going to do a Control backspace or Command backspace. Oops, wrong color. It would be very helpful if I had black in my swatch. There we go. Alright, we got it good there. So we're going to do a Command D. We're going to you can now unselect that. And then you'll just take your opacity and you want to drop it anywhere from 50% or below, but nothing above 50 because that's really too much black. So I might go with maybe, I think maybe 25 would look really good, don't you think? I think so. So I might go with that. No, you know what? Maybe we'll go with 30. 30 is good, okay? So you'll notice how now there's a shadow there. But again, there's no light in the photo for that shadow to even be visible. So I want to add light to the photo. So I'm going to go grab my lovely brush tool, which is right here. And I'm going to go to my color selector, which is over here as well. And I'm going to select a sun or bright color, bright yellow-orange color. I'm going to go with that color right there. I'm going to make a new layer. And with a soft round brush of very large size, because my canvas is quite large, I used around 350 pixel size brush. But again, if your canvas isn't that big, I would go small enough. And then just make a dot in the corner. Go like that. So that now gives you a sun in your photo. And then to blend that in to give it light and look as though there's a shadow coming off of that, I'm going to go and hit screen. So there you have it. It looks like you got some sun in the clouds and it gives you a shadow effect onto the photo. That is awesome. Now, when you're doing the screen effect, you want to make sure you're picking a very light, bright color. Because if you go dark, it's not going to give you that lovely, like, bright effect in the clouds like you see on my photo. Just a thought. So that's basically it. You can take this knowledge with you and use it with every kind of photo you want to use. But that's kind of what the quick selection tool essentially can do for you and how it can enhance your photos. You could also use the pen tool to make a selection as well, like I had said previously, but that's a little bit more work and I don't know if you have enough time for that, depending on what kind of project you're working on. So there you go. I hope that was helpful for you guys. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. If it was helpful in any way, shape, or form, hit the like button. Or if you have any questions, you can comment below as well. I'm here for you, as always, and thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.